Welcome to another episode of the Fin Out of Water Football Show. I am your host with the most, B Herbo. And I got my brother from another mother, Rod, man, in the building with me. I know you hear the enthusiasm. I know you hear the grit, the God, the audacity in my voice. Why is that, Rod? You let the people know.
Ah, let me tell you. I'll say it in three simple words, Herbie. And I got some family here, but hopefully they don't get too shocked. Fuck the Jets, Herbie.
Fuck
Fuck 'em.
them. Fuck them.
Fuck 'em. They're done.
Rod, let me.
They're done.
We are on the heels of you defeating the New York Jets 32-26 in what was actually a really fucking good game. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, my experience might be completely different from your experience, Rod, and all of the Miami Dolphin fans out there. But I will say this: when the New York Football Jets went up 23-15, I was like, I'm not finna show up. We're not streaming. Like, we talk too much shit about the Jets for us to come out here and pretend that we didn't talk all that shit. So I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was out here rooting like I was a Dolphins fan, dog. I was like, yeah, nigga, fuck, oh shit, Jonnu Smith, Jonnu Smith. Dude, we have talked too much shit, kicked the back end
Way
of the
too
New
much
York
shit.
Jets too fucking much for you motherfuckers to do something that y'all have not done since 2014, which is lose a home game to the New York Jets. And thank God you
No.
guys pulled this one out in beautiful
Oof.
fashion at that, man. So, Rod, the floor is yours,
Facts.
man. This is your team. This is your domain, bro. Take me through your Sunday 1 o'clock to 4:15, my good sir.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Herbie. This was one of those games this was a really frustrating game to watch. Large in part due to the fact that it was one of those weird games, Herbie, that it was both a good and a bad game at the same time. So people might be like, what do you mean? It was a good game in the sense that we didn't get our first punts until like the fourth quarter or like the late third quarter of this game. Both offenses were moving the ball and they were scoring, but it was a bad game in the sense that, at one point the Dolphins were 1 for 7 on third down. Like the Jets were terrible on third down as well. Like both teams did not move the ball well on third down. And as a fan, it was frustrating, Herbie, just because, look, the Jets have a bad record, but they're a talented team, right? Like at the end of the day, no matter how much I dislike the Jets, they've been in a bunch of fucking one score games. They've kept up a lot of games close because they have talent, and they're a division rival, and obviously their season's over. But I could tell the Jets really wanted to finish us, dog. Like I got that feeling. Like as I watched the game, frustrated as hell because the defense just seemingly couldn't stop them early on. Like it got to the point, Herbie, like when we were punting in the fourth quarter, I was like, damn, why are we even punting? Like we haven't stopped them all day. Credit to the defense, credit to the guys like Zach Saylor, Calais Campbell, Chop Robinson, the front seven coming through, applying pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were getting their asses kicked all game, but they got it together towards the end. And, it was even frustrating watching the offense, Herbie, because we just kept stalling. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing worse than field goal football, Herbie. When you get into the red zone, you got to keep kicking three, keep kicking three. But I'm also kind of happy that Mike McDaniel dialed back his aggression because we really haven't been a good fourth down team this year. Both the Jets and the Dolphins have not been good fourth down teams. So, it was a frustrating game to watch, Herbie, but I got to tell you, man, like it was one of those games that had my butt cheeks clenched because, like you said, we've been giving it to the Jets this season. Like every chance that I get, I rub it in their faces how much of a disastrous season it is. And for the Jets, Herbie, if the Texans finish my season, if the 49ers finish our season, hell, I'll take the Browns. It can't be the Jets, Herbie. It can't be the Jets that finish the Dolphins, bro. Not for me, bro. I've talked
Nah,
way too much shit, bro.
and
It can't be the
that's
Jets.
where I was with it too, because I was like, bro, these motherfuckers really finna lose this game, dog. Like, I was dreading having to edit all the clips and everything that we had to do for social if you guys would have lost this game, dog. Like, the like I would have went ghost for the whole week, bro. People would have been like, "Ooh, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Y'all been talking so." Listen, I have, I got videos of us
Oh.
kicking the back end of the Jets that I haven't even posted because I'm like, we talk so much shit about them that it's redundant. I can't keep posting us shitting on the fucking Jets. I got shit tucked in that I haven't even posted that won't see the day of light. The light of day, I mean, bruh. So
Oh.
this was it was very, 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 very imperative that you guys pulled it out. And I love the way that you guys pulled it out because y'all didn't win on a kick on a field goal. Y'all didn't win on a technicality. Y'all didn't win on some bullshit call. Y'all didn't win on a bullshit pass interference that got you down there. No, you got the ball first in overtime. And this is, you feel me? Like, you guys are most likely not going to make the playoffs. And this is ultimately going to be another failed season for the Miami Dolphins. But this is a different Dolphins team from an outside observer. And I can say that with confidence. The reason why I know this is a different team is because when it went to overtime and you guys, they had the coin flip and you guys won the coin flip, the excitement, the confidence, and the preparedness for you guys to get that ball first. Tua knew y'all was scoring. You couldn't tell that man y'all was not going to score on that first drive. Like, it's one thing to this team kick a field goal, you kick a field goal, and then you get the ball back and you kick another field goal and you win. No, it's another to win on the opening drive in overtime. Really good teams win on the opening drive in overtime. Can I say that the Dolphins are a really good team? They're under 500. So by that alone, I could say no. But this is a different Dolphins team. This is a different Dolphins regime. And these are the games that make me say, bro, is Mike McDaniels a perfect coach? No. But you're not going to do too much better than him. So all you motherfuckers that are ready to get this guy out of town, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. But I don't want this to be a Mike McDaniel thing. And we lost Rob for a second, so let me go ahead and get full screen on, man. So I don't want this to be a Mike McDaniel thing. I don't want this to be a Mike McDaniel thing, 100% and whatnot. Oh, well, we got you. Well, we got Rob
Back,
back.
man.
All right, you back. So I don't want this to be a Mike McDaniel thing, but because I want to stick to the game. But I just can't help but explain my thought process as an outside observer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody who's not a fan. That's the first thing that I thought. When Jonnu Smith got that touchdown on a beautiful design, I said, suck it, you fucking Mike McDaniel haters. You see? You see that the fucking design he drew up? Shut the fuck up, you bitch ass motherfuckers. Spoiled brats. But I digress, Rod. So take me through your experience on that opening drive. How did you feel about the opening drive? How did you feel about how successful about you guys were on the opening drive? And did you think you were going to score a touchdown on that opening drive, sir?
You know, Herbie, with the way that the Dolphins had played all afternoon, I wasn't really quite sure how to feel. Like I had already gone through the emotional roller coaster of the jet of the it was a seesaw game, right? Like it was a back and forth game. We opened the game with a score. The Jets came back, took the lead. They remained in the lead until we tied it at the end. Like it was a very stressful game to watch throughout. So I was relieved when we got the coin toss in overtime, but I wasn't quite sure because the offense, despite moving the ball all day, they had their moments where they didn't really weren't on the same page. There were times where, Tua and a receiver were off by a little bit, which goes in line, which is like the weakness of this team. And which I'm surprised more teams don't do it, Herbie. Like this is a team that is super predicated on timing and being in rhythm, and Tua is a heavy anticipation thrower. So there's a lot of times like if him and his receiver aren't on the same page, it looks like he's missing a nigga by a while, when in reality, receiver might have got jammed or got caught up in traffic. So there's a lot of varying factors that go in. But to watch the Dolphins, watch Tua and the Dolphins offense methodically march downfield up until all the way he scored the touchdown with confidence. Like this is honestly, Herbie, and I just gotta say this, Herbie. I just gotta say this as a Dolphin fan, and I'm not talking to all other Dolphin fans because I know there are plenty of Dolphin fans out there that do have sense. But for the Dolphin fans out there who take their time to just like there are literally trolls, Herbie, that just spread Tua hate all the time. There's either you niggas are new or you just like there's no fucking way, Herbie. You've been watching this team for the past 20 years prior to Tua, and you're upset with him out of all the problems that we have. Like Herbie, Tua is literally one of the best players on the team. I do not understand. I don't care about outside fans, like people like yourself, people who don't know the Dolphins, they can think whatever they want, Herbie, because they don't keep up with the team. That's why anybody who, any team that we talk about, don't get offended. It's just our opinion. Like, y'all know y'all teams. You know what I'm saying? And I know my team, but it grinds my gears when someone who knows this team or who should know this team is upset most of all with the quarterback. And here's what they got to say now, Herbie. Oh, it was the Jets. Oh, the Jets, their defense wasn't healthy. We're not healthy, so we're not giving ourselves credit. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if we lose the game, what do you say? Oh, but because we won the game, oh, it was too close. It was too close. Like, there are some fans, Herbie, and I'm sure every fan base has them. I know it's not just Dolphin fans, but there are always fans who want to be miserable. There are always fans who just can't take the good with the bad. This is the NFL. It doesn't matter how good a team is. You have teams that are going to obviously, regardless of the record, the talent level of every team is pretty similar. So we're gonna have tough games against teams that aren't good. This was a trap game of all trap games, Herbie. The Dolphins have no room for error. Even the announcers were just like Kevin Harlan and the other guy, they just kept saying, like, man, the Dolphins need this game. The Dolphins need this game because we did. Like, we have no room for like losing a game is we're done. Like every single game from now on for the Dolphins this season. And I'm not someone who thinks we're gonna make the playoffs. But what I would want to see, even with this season possibly most likely being a lost season, I want to see these niggas try. I want to see the fight. And first, and I ain't gonna lie, Herbie, when we were down 15-23 in the fourth quarter, I started cursing at. I was like, man, these niggas ain't got no heart. These bitch ass niggas. Like, I was ready to throw in the towel, and then obviously we were able to make that comeback, convert the 2-point conversion, and shit got real. But nah, when that final drive was a thing of beauty, Herbie. I mean, we were methodical on that drive. Tua was a surgeon. And I want to make note of something, Herbie, because this is the respect that Tua's starting to get in the league. Aldrich, who was the interim head coach for the Jets, he compared Tua to Drew Brees. He said, hey, man, when we prepare for Tua, we prepare for him like we're preparing for Drew Brees. Herbie, that's a hell of a compliment from someone who's considered one of your peers. That's how people are starting to look at this man. The man is at Herbie. Tua might break Drew Brees' completion percentage record, which is ridiculous. Dude has 17 touchdowns and 4 picks on the season, and 3 of his interceptions came in one game. Like, who knows how far the Dolphins would be ahead had he not gotten hurt? And he blames himself. I read the interview where like Tua blames himself as he should. You literally ran into somebody and caught a concussion. That was 100% avoidable. You could have slid, and the rest would have been history. But at the end of the day, we are where we are now. And the thing that makes me, I guess, the thing that Dolphin fans can be happy about is that the team hasn't quit. The team still has some fight in them. You know what I'm saying? And we see, we have a lot of dumb fans, but there are a lot of fans who recognize, like, listen, Tua may not be one of the top 5 maybe quarterbacks in the league because there are certain things he doesn't give you. But when's the last time we had a top 10 level quarterback in any capacity, Herbie? Like, we haven't even been close to that, not even with Tannehill. So it's just like, dude, Dolphin fans, like, we have a lot of other problems with this team, starting with the GM that we need to worry about. The GM who can't fix the offensive line, which would help a pocket passer. I guarantee, Herbie, I meant to do the research and I didn't do it, but I'll make sure I have it ready for the next podcast. I want to do research on all the great quarterbacks and the level of play their offensive line gave them. Because I remember, for the most part, Drew Brees has some great offensive lines. Peyton Manning has a Hall of Famer in like Jeff Saturday who's in front of him. Peyton has some really good to great offensive line. Brady had all the great pocket passers, dude, had awesome to okay to good, top half of the league, top 10 in the league offensive lines. What do we have, Herbie? Perennially, this year they're ranked a little higher. But for the most part, our offensive lines are never, like, it's not up to boot. So the Dolphins have to do their part, because at the end of the day, Herbie, people have this crazy mentality where if your quarterback isn't a superhero, they're in the wrong. No, Herbie, GMs get paid to get picks. Coaches get paid to develop players. It shouldn't just always be on all the quarterback. What they're doing to Pat Mahomes in Kansas City, he shouldn't be wearing a badge for that. You should get that man some talent because you know what he could do with it. You know, the same thing with quarterbacks like Josh Allen. At the end of the day, it's on the organization to put talent around the players that they want to succeed. And clearly, you have a top 10 quarterback into a Tagovailoa. What you got to do is do the things that can help him best. And you know he's not mobile. So you should focus more on protecting him. So, you know, my bad, man. I didn't even mean to go on a
Oh
rant
nah,
about
yeah,
that.
you
You know what
definitely
I'm
you definitely
saying?
went on the
I
deep
didn't even
end,
mean
dog.
to.
You been holding this in. You been holding this in. You went on the deep end, my boy. You been on the deep
You
end.
know what it is, Herbie? I just be you know what it is, Herbie? I'm just frustrated with some of the fans in our fan base who just have like no grace. Like they're just so
Okay,
it's
so
just
this
people
is what
have
we'll
reached
do.
a point. No, no,
No. This is what we do because I want to
go
come
ahead,
back
go
to
ahead.
that, right? Because I don't want to get straight too far from the game itself.
The game.
So
Yeah.
keep that. Make a mental note of what you're gonna say. Keep a mental note because we're gonna come back around to that before we transition over to the red zone observations, right? But I